All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you could please take your seats, we're ready to welcome the former Unified Champ, Mr. Keith, one-time Thurman. And I will turn it over to Keith. And Keith, if you just wanted to open it up, obviously, certainly not the result you wanted. Just thoughts on the fight and what happened.
Well, first off, man, it was just a great fight. Thank God, man. It's beautiful boxing, big stage. It felt good to be on that stage once again. Fundora's a tremendous champion. But whoever the fuck that referee was, don't hire him for fucking main event shit ever again, man. Real talk. Do you remember Eric Morales versus Marcos Maidana? Do you remember how many times people fought with broken orbital bones? Shit's not even broken, man. Never got dropped in the whole fight. I'm getting caught on the back end of punches. The referee told me in the locker room, show me something. Move your feet, duck your head. I won't stop the fight. I'm using my legs. I'm getting caught on the back end. I wasn't buckled. He just jumped in like a white rabbit, man. So the little hoppy referees, they're not made for main event boxing. The fight was getting fun. The people were standing on their feet. We were just getting into the grind, And he was getting really comfortable swinging wide. Swinging big, swinging wide. Because he's young, because he trains hard, he put that press. Because he's a volume puncher, he put that press, and the referee reacted to that, So, Fundora's preparation, his fight style, it all ended up planning out for him. But as an OG, man, 4 more minutes, it would have been a lot of fun, I promise you. 4 more minutes, and he could have made a mistake right in front of me, man. I was waiting for it. I knew it was going to be one of these kind of tough fights against a young champion, and I had that long-term vision, but the ref didn't let me get there, man. So it was unfortunate, but I'm grateful, I'm okay. I'm able to talk to you guys. I don't need to be in the hospital. Everything is what it is. I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, ICI, and just, I'll be back, man. I want to do great things in boxing once again, and I'm going to come back hard. I'm going to come back strong.
All right, guys, we're going to open it up to media questions, so try to raise your hand. We'll try to get a mic to you. So.
Keith, just wanted to ask you, it sounds like what you're saying is you were kind of setting him, you were working to set him up to land the hard punches that we saw from you during the fight.
Yeah, when I was watching some tape, like Mendoza finished, caught him late. I just started to catch him a little bit, right before Tim Tszyu retired in the 8th, he had the highlights. So I saw that Fundora gets a little bit sloppy around round 7, round 8, And I saw, him working behind the jab, being smart today, different things. I was like, all right, let's just keep nipping at the body, take it slow, It's one of those fights, all right, we're gonna take a little bit of damage, but we're gonna press, we're gonna dog it out. We're gonna make them, you gotta, like Ali, you just gotta, the young guys, you gotta really make them go hard. Make them go hard, put them in that scenario where they make a mistake. And he was just getting way too comfortable. He had a hard press, and we were right on the verge of getting to that sweet spot. That sweet spot where both of us were ready to go toe-to-toe, blow for blow, and the ref couldn't handle the violence and, what I was taking. A lot was on the gloves. Some of this on this side was me catching, I remember a fight that I had where on the side of my head looked like a monster symbol, right? And I was like, how the heck did that happen? And it came from the inseam of my own fist. If you got 1, 2, 3. The inseam of my own fist hitting my own head, that's where my bruising came from. So we get bruised up just from blocking shots as much as we get bruised up from taking shots. So it's just unfortunate, man. I really think I could hear the crowd. The fight was really just getting good. I was on my feet, never got dropped. And it's just unfortunate, man. They didn't let me, at this stage of my career, it's okay. If you're gonna beat me, you're gonna beat me, right? But whoop my ass. Let me feel bad. I still feel good. I wanted a few more rounds. I still feel good. So it's just unfortunate, man. It's the unknown. 6 more minutes, we don't know what would happen, and we don't get that opportunity, and it's unfortunate.
All right, guys, if you could hold your questions, we're going to bring on the defending, reigning WBC Super Welterweight World Champion, and he's coming on and take the stage. Please help me welcome Sebastian, the towering Inferno Fundora. All right, we're gonna do one more question for Keith, and then we'll turn it over to Sebastian. So if we got Sean.
Keith, man, salute to you for being the warrior you always are in this fight throughout your career. Just two for you, man. Was Sebastian Fundora ultimately a better fighter than, and I know you studied him from front to back, but did he turn out to be even better than you anticipated? And what do you want to do in your career moving forward now, following this fight?
You know, he definitely trained hard. You know, he has that conditioning. He's a volume puncher. And, you know, I think it's just that little bit of a press that he was putting on that, you know, let that referee feel, you know, the way that he felt to jump in. But, you know, he was pressing. He was opening up. He was starting to throw wide. And that's where, you know, the veteran has an opportunity to shine. I'm telling you, man, the fans were loving it. The action was getting real. There was no need to just stop it right then and right there, you know. But, you know, once again, I'm not that beat up. I can fight more, and we'll see what happens, man. But it was a good fight. I wanted a great fight, and I think if it went just a few more minutes, I mean, something great would happen. Or maybe I would have got dropped, and then, you know, at the end of the day, I can accept a true defeat. But defeat on top of defeat, you know, I mean, it just doesn't feel right, man. It's very unfortunate because I've never been stopped in my career, not in the amateurs, not in the pros. So just a referee depicting my future like that, I don't like it. That's all.
All right, we got one more. Keith, I believe.
Keith, do you feel that Sebastian is the best junior middleweight in boxing after what you experienced tonight?
I mean, I haven't fought the other guys, you know, when you guys want to call the best, but, you know, Sebastian knows that he's definitely one of the best in the division. And, you know, he's just that challenge, you know. And the kid's being smarter. He's really working behind his jab. He's got a good fight plan. He's got a good output. You know, he's still subject to take some damage from time to time. But at the end of the day, he's growing, and it's really his work ethic, man. When you train like that, and you have volume like that, and you just come ready, it's tough to beat. You know, I saw my coach Ben Getty take kids from the streets, and you know, just tough fighters. And our tough fighters, because the way that we would train strength and conditioning, they would be talented fighters, you know? And so I think Sebastian Fundora, when you know you look at the talent in the division, he's just one of those tough fighters that comes ready, who has that distance and that grit and everything, that no matter if you're talented, you might not still beat Sebastian Fundora, you know? He just brings so many different elements to the ring, and he comes ready, fully prepared to defend the world title. And that's one of his strengths for sure. He's a tremendous champion. And it was fun sharing the ring with such a great fighter.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll let Keith get out of here. Keith, I'll let you make closing comments. You know, this does not take away from your impressive resume, decorated career, unified champion. Any final words for fans out there and the media here?
Definitely, man. You know, this was a fun build-up. This was a great fight. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and just keep looking forward to what I have to bring, man. 37 years old. I got some more fight left in me, especially because they stopped it early, baby. You see me, I'm here, I'm talking, I'm not stuttering, and I'm gonna go back into the gym. I might have to go join this boy in the mountains. I might have to train in the mountains next time. You know what I'm saying? Because the conditioning was a very strong point, I could tell, but he was, you know, the mistakes were there. I didn't get to capitalize it early enough. The fight got stopped, man, but I love you. Thank you guys for everything. Thank God. Thank you to everybody who supported me, man. Everybody that helped me in this camp. God bless my wife, my children. Just, you know, and I'm gonna do better next time, man. Congratulations to a tremendous champion, Sebastian Fundora.
All right, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Keith, one-time Thurman. All right, thank you so much, Keith. And now I'm going to turn it over to the champ. And before we let the champ speak, I want to bring up his promoter, Mr. Samson Lukowitz, to say a few words after what an impressive performance we saw again from Sebastian Fundora.
Thank you. Good evening from everyone. Today was a great fight, a great warrior on Keith, and Sebastian probably it was the best fight of his career. Now he's mature, and I guarantee you that he will fight any of the champion or former champions. That everybody say, oh, who will be next? We don't know yet, because always we wait for them to finish his work, and then by next week, or maybe next week, be okay, we're going to the house and see. Gabby cook for us, against lasagna, and then we come out with the next opponent. So there's not much to say. That sometimes say we can say is the best 154, and that for me as a promoter, I believe is wrong. I would say this one of the best, and trust me, is one of the best on the division. And to be the best, you want to fight everyone that is a champion or former champion, and definitely top 10 contender. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
All right, thank you, Samson. And now we'll turn it over to the man who has put on an impressive performance, stopping Keith Thurman in the 6th round, and he continues to defend his WBC crown. Sebastian Fundora, the champ. Thoughts, obviously happy thoughts after such an impressive performance. What did you think of how the fight played out, and is that how you envisioned it?
I'm very happy with my performance, of course. I think it was a great performance. You know, just a lot of training in this camp, We've been training for him since August of last year. So, you know, it was unfortunate that we couldn't find October, but you know, we stayed training, we stayed getting ready for this former Hall of Famer, and you know, show up tonight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, raise your hand and we'll try to get the mic to you for a question. Oh, we got one right here in the corner.
Well, I'm Edward Barrett with the Electronic Urban Report. Looking back on your career up to this point, what are your thoughts about the grading of this fight? And how do you grade yourself for your performance in this fight?
The grading, I think I did very good. I can give this an A performance because it's not too much damage I took from this fight. I did use my reach like everybody wants me to always. So I think listening and sticking to the plan gives me that A performance. I don't give it A plus. I give it an A performance. I got one over here.
Hi, Sebastian. Congratulations. It's Saucy with Elite Champ TV. Was Keith tougher than you thought he would be? Because, you know, there were some moments where, you know, we saw that battle and it was really amazing to watch.
No, it was not actually, but all credit to him, of course. I take my hat off to Keith. Of course, he's a great former champion. Like I said, a future Hall of Famer for sure. But no, we trained very hard for this fight, and we made sure that we crossed our T's and dotted our I's, so that performance from him wouldn't be nothing for us to, nothing crazy for us to handle.
Yeah, you did great in there. How did it feel to just have the crowd go wild at the end?
I was happy. I was very happy because I think this is, by myself at least, as a main event fighter now, this is the most I ever packed up a place. So seeing the fans enjoy my fight as well too. I mean, that's never really a problem, but seeing that much people for me and hearing the crowd cheer for me when I walk out, I'm not hearing no boos that much anymore too. So I don't know, I'm very grateful for that.
You got another one?
Sebastian, great performance. Again, Keith Thurman, it was part of the victory at 147 with Thurman, with Earl and Crawford, and they didn't fight him. So good to you. Right now, you put yourself on top at 154. Would you consider going up to 160 if the matchup is right for you?
As of right now, no. There's so much fights at 154, you know, it doesn't make sense for me to just abandon that weight class, especially me being a world champion, you know. We have all kinds of names, and I think I'm on fire, so why would leave it?
Sebastian, back here, Marcus Hayes with Fight Hub TV. First off, congratulations. I know that you put so much into your performances and you have to be pleased with the way that things look tonight. But I want to ask you, in the last couple of fights, every time somebody has seemed to land a meaningful shot on you, you seem to return almost like you're returning for a fire with a machine gun. What's going through your mind when you're lighting a person up like that, sending them across the ropes, and you just are, I was talking to some fans and everybody is so blown away by the level of calm, but also with you being so violent at the same time. Can you talk about that?
You know, there's I don't know what round it was, but he did hit me with a punch, and it was a good punch, and I remember responding with 4 or 5 punches back, and my dad told me, don't do that, don't get hit with nothing. So, but that just, to show the fighter that you're not in this fight, this is my fight still, I'm still in the lead right now, I'm still controlling this fight. It's just in me to want to win, you know. I don't know if you can train that or not, but my dad definitely implanted it to me and my sister.
Sebastian, obviously you were coming into this fight off of a hand injury. How did the hand hold up?
They feel good, you know. I could probably punch a brick wall, I wouldn't be smart, but I could do that right now, and they're still fine, so very healthy, very happy.
Keith was talking about the fight maybe being stopped prematurely. Did you feel that way being in there with him? Did you feel like you had sufficiently damaged him and that he was on his last legs?
I didn't think it was stopped prematurely. I thought it was stopped at the right time because as soon as that eye cut open, you know, the doctor was already looking at that eye, and it was all purple. As soon as we stepped into the 6th round, I knew I had to bust it open, and then it happened with one of the first punches. But you know, me as a person, as a human being, I wouldn't want him to take any more damage. But this is boxing, so it's not up to me.
And out of all the guys in the division, is there any one of them that you want the most?
Not really. I think I'm the best. I think they all need to come to me.
I think we got another question over here to the left.
Sebastian, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
How realistic do you think maybe it could be for you to unify titles by the end of the year?
It's very realistic. It's just things need to be put together right. You know, like I don't know. I had a WBO for a little bit, but for some reason those guys were giving me a hard time the whole time. So I'm very comfortable with the WBC. I've been saying this over and over again. I'll fight these guys. I'll unify with these guys, but I'll probably drop the belt right after. I'll beat these guys for the title, take their title, and vacate it right away. They can, or they can keep it, you know. But I'll fight all these champions because that's what we want, right? We want Fundora to fight these champions or fight these fighters. But they can keep the belt after. I don't care. I'm happy with the WBC.
We'll have 2 more questions.
Sebastian, congrats, great performance. Question for you and for Samson as well. To your point about being the WBC champion, Virgil Ortiz is the interim titleist for your world title. He's obviously going through some issues right now with his promoter, but what do you think of that fight? Why do you feel based on tonight you would beat him? And for Samson, how realistic is that fight to be done this year?
I don't believe it will happen because the boxing world have a problem at this moment. And the worst thing sometimes is when management commit a mistake and doesn't recognize it. And when he recognizes it, it's too late. You know, Oscar de la Hoya, besides that being my friend and part of my family, he treated that kid very well all his career. But sometimes management get greedy and now he pay the price. Why we should talk about Ortiz in this moment, that probably he will not fight for the next year or so. And he will get stripped very soon of the WBC interim. So let's talk about somebody else. Tell me which one you want. And then I can tell you this is possible or not. But Ortiz is out of the game at this moment.
Is the winner of a potential Zayas and Ennis fight then realistic for Sebastian? for this year?
Look, if it's in PBC, we have no issue. We're loyal to PBC, and we continue that way.
Sebastian, phenomenal performance. Crazy to sound like this, but I feel like you get knocked out by Brian Mendoza, probably the best thing that could have happened in your career ever since. We have seen you been growing, right? You've been using your distance. Speaking of the next fight, Charlo was after the fight talking about he pretty much gave you guys the belt, that no one has beaten him. It makes sense to fight Charlo next. How do you like to fight with Charlo?
I think that's a great fight. It's a PBC fighter as well. The last undisputed 154 champion as well. So, you know, fight with him seems like it makes sense.
All right. Well, Sebastian, congratulations on an impressive victory. We knew it was going to be an exciting fight, but I think you surprised people again with just how dominating you were with your performance over a very worthy opponent, Keith, one-time Thurman. Closing comments to fans and media here on tonight's performance.
Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the hate, whatever it was. Happy birthday to my little sister. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Abby. Happy birthday to you. 24. And we'll see you guys again soon. You know, we have to defend this title. Keep going. Thank you.
Well, we look forward to whenever that news drops. Sebastian and Team Fundora, enjoy this victory. Go back home, rest up, and we look forward to seeing you again later this year. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, WBC Super Welterweight World Champion Sebastian the Towering Inferno Fundora. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and PBC will be back May 2nd, Cinco de Mayo weekend. It's Benavides versus Zurdo. You do not want to miss it. All Mexican card coming your way. PBC pay-per-view on Prime Video. Thank you, everyone.